There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. Good morning, CSL. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. Glad that you can be here with us virtually. We're here in the building. We are your music team. We've got Mr. Mark Hayes, Mr. Paul Roberts, Mr. Doug Allwater, Mr. Ben Turver. I am your music director. My name is Lee Langston. It's a pleasure to be here. Go ahead and do that. Touch those heavenly voices. Get ready to sing along with us. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Good morning. I am Mark Hayes, one of your prayer practitioners. We have 7 core values here at CSL, and today we are focusing on healing. We believe in the healing of the sick and control of conditions through the power of the mind. When we experience healing, we are simply revealing the perfection of mind, body, and spirit that was already there. Please pray with me as I speak this word for all of us. There is an unlimited power supporting all life that creates, heals, and energizes everything. This power is always motivated by love and seeks only good. It is divinely ordered and imaginative beyond our comprehension. This perfect life of God is also my life. All of who I am is contained in spirit. Today I'm filled with the energy of God. It flows in, around, and through me. I experience no fatigue, for I am one with the source that created the entire universe. My natural condition is one of health. Disease or sickness has absolutely no power in my life. All of the systems of my body flow in perfect harmony, and I am at peace. Any emotional wound of the past has no power over me in this present moment. Health is revealed with every thought I think and every breath I take. My mind and body are renewed. This promise makes me very glad. Knowing I am fully in tune with the healing energy of spirit gives me a feeling of equanimity. I'm so grateful to live this perfect life of God, expressing as me. So now I release my word into the law, with confidence, knowing all my desires are fulfilled. And we all say, and so it is.
Mother, mother, there's far too many of you crying. And brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. Oh, you know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, Father, Father, we don't need to escalate, 'cause war is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, picket lines, picket signs, don't you punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. Hey, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Mother, mother, everybody says we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Just because our hair is so long. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs, don't you punish me with brutality. Yeah. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Oh, oh. What's going on? Please tell me. What's going on? Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Now love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Oh, love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Oh, love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Oh, and once I decide to change my mind, God can show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Oh, love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Oh, love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. It's my decision right here and now.
Oh, my. Wow, what an amazing morning service already. Mark, wonderful prayer, loved it. Lee, music team, love the music. The energy is just absolutely fabulous. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's service. So let's start this service by just saying who we are and how we're showing up. We are a diverse and inclusive spiritual community expressing God as love.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, joining us, however you're joining us. I second that. Thank you so much, Lee and all the music team for that great music. It's always good, but there are just some Sundays that it really sticks out, so thanks for this morning. I want to start by acknowledging the fact that Ramadan started Tuesday, the 13th, and it ends on May the 12th. So Ramadan, for those of you who don't know, is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. And it is observed by Muslims all over the world. It is a month of fasting and prayer, reflection, and community. So actually, a number of us from CSL have gone to some of the Ramadan festivities, and they're really meaningful, and especially the community part, to see the kinds of communities they build and have built. So it's always wonderful to know that we've been invited to those, and I think they're still doing those this year, probably just differently with COVID. But we want to wish all of our Muslim friends a happy Ramadan that is deep and meaningful and important to you, however you celebrate it. So our theme here at CSL in the month of April is the path less traveled. Last week we talked about one of those paths that is less traveled, being patient in an impatient world. So today's lesson is another path less traveled, which is equanimity, a calm mind. So here are some definitions for equanimity. It's calm, composed, tranquil, collected. Those are all words that describe equanimity or a calm mind. There are words that are the opposite of a calm mind or equanimity. Some of the opposites are being restless, perturbed, or impatient. So a mind that is calm and composed and tranquil and collected is, in many cases, a path that's less traveled. As we navigate in the world, we see how that is one of the paths that is less traveled. So there is a Jewish practice called Musar, M-U-S-S-A-R, Musar. And in the Musar practice, they have what's called our soul's curriculum. And they say that our soul's curriculum is the challenges that come up over and over again in our lives. So last week, for example, we looked, as I said, at one of those frequent challenges for many people, which is the practice of patience. So if that particular thing comes up for you over and over again, that would be called part of your soul's curriculum because it just keeps occurring and occurring in your life. So today we are looking at another challenge that could possibly be part of your soul's curriculum, and that is a calm mind or equanimity. And the real challenge in it is not so much getting a calm mind, but maintaining it. All of us have probably felt times where our mind was calm, we were in equanimity, but then something happens and all of a sudden we have lost our calm mind. So maintaining it is the real challenge or the real goal. So psychologists are telling us that left to its own devices, our minds gravitate toward the negative. Now that may or may not be a surprise to you, but it seems that our minds naturally spiral down instead of spiraling up to higher thoughts. So we have to interrupt the direction that it seems our minds want to take us. So I used to wonder if I just prayed enough, or if my meditation practice was just successful enough, or I got spiritual enough, just maybe there was a place that I would arrive where life just worked out the way I thought it should. That there wouldn't be any more challenges or difficulties, that everything would go according to my master plan. And along the way, I discovered that if I experienced challenges and difficulties, I started to think I must not be spiritual enough if these things are coming up. Now, I'm not sure why I thought that, not sure why I wondered that about this guarantee of a challenge-free life, because as far as I can tell, there is no scripture and no teaching anywhere with that guarantee. So I guess our work would be to find ways to successfully and to skillfully deal with the fact that life is just going to present people and events and circumstances that challenge our equanimity and disturb our calm mind. So we are still going to encounter our humanness as we strive to become more divine or live more from our divinity. We're still going to have our humanity pop up in all these different ways that challenge us. Even those that we would consider to be the spiritual masters had to work at this. It was said that Jesus left the crowds and went off to be by himself to pray periodically. So a calm mind is something that it appears we are going to have to cultivate. It doesn't just happen on its own without working at it. So this is really all about becoming skilled at the process of living our everyday life, which is what I came to love about this teaching over the years, was the practical tools that we get to use in our everyday life. It's not just a Sunday experience and then somehow we get through the next 6 days and have another Sunday experience. We get tools to practice every day. So I read one teacher who talked about a calm mind, saying that it's like being a surfer. The surfers don't deny the existence of waves, all the turbulence around them. They still recognize that it's around them. They just choose which wave they're going to ride and how they're going to do it. So, if life is just going to present challenges, regardless of how spiritual we become, what can we do to achieve this inner quality of equanimity and to maintain a calm mind? So I have 3 things that I'm just going to suggest that you try and just practice as much as you can. So the first thing to do is to what I'm calling live in the gap. So last week when we talked about patience, I did this during our meditation, and I just had us notice that our bodies are designed to show us how to live in this gap. Because if you pay attention right where you are as you breathe, as you just breathe in and out, in and out, what you will notice is that between breathing in and breathing out, there is a gap of silence between the top of the breath, when you're inhaling, and then when you exhale and inhale again. There are gaps between all of that. There's that gap of silence. The same can be said of our heartbeat. So I had you find your pulse, either in the heart in your chest, your pulse in your wrist, or the pulse in your neck. And if you just be still for a while and find that pulse, you will find the same thing. There is a gap of silence, a pause between your heartbeat that's in your pulse. So our body shows us how to live in the gap, how to live in this pause where there's silence. So we can use that same principle that our body is showing us when it comes to our thoughts. Let there be a gap of silence between the thing that happens and your reaction. Be the observer there in that gap. Because what we normally do is something happens and then we react. Something happens and we react. We don't take time to just have a pause or to live in the gap where there's some quiet. So if we can just live in that gap, that brief moment of silence between what happens and our reaction to it, then we can do what number 2 on my suggestion list says. Then we can ask, how important is this really? How important is this really? So is it really so important that I am going to give up my peace of mind over this? Now, maybe the answer is no. Maybe you're in this gap, you ask the question, and no, it's not worth giving up my peace of mind for my reaction that I thought I was going to have. And so you just let it go and move on. Maybe you're in this gap of silence and ask, is it really this important? And maybe that gives you just enough time to adjust your reaction. How much you want to respond to it. Or maybe you decide that it really is important. The point is this, that you have more than one choice. You don't have to give up your peace of mind. You can take that gap of time, that little sliver of silence, and ask, is this worth me giving up my peace of mind over this? The next thing, number 3, that we can do, and that's also in this gap that we're going to create, is watch for the should statements. When I decide to get honest with myself about what I allowed to steal my peace of mind, I'm shocked at how often I gave up my peace of mind for what I thought should have been. It's the should statements. What I should have done, what they should have done, how that should have happened, when it should have happened. So I had an agenda of what I thought should be. And then it occurred to me, if there are over 7 billion people on the planet, there's a good chance that 7 billion people have their own agenda. They have their own shoulds. So we're basically walking around shoulding everywhere and getting in each other's way and stealing each other's peace of mind. I don't know how we get around other people have a should statement just like we do. I think the best we can do is pay attention to our own and how it steals our peace of mind to be living in should. So those are the 3 things I think we can at least practice to try to maintain this peace of mind, this calm mind or this equanimity. Live in the gap between what happens and your reaction to it. Ask, how important is this really? And watch for the shoulds. So there is a poem on the wall of Mother Teresa's children's home in Calcutta. And this poem captures the spirit of equanimity because it shows us responses that help us practice keeping a calm mind and take the path less traveled. So you may have heard it before. I've heard it in a number of different ways. I've never heard it in the context of equanimity. But it really makes sense because each part of it, there is a statement of something that happens and then the response. And can we live in the gap where we can have this higher, more calm-minded response? So the poem goes like this. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. In the gap, forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build it anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some people may be jealous, but be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best that you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best that you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and your God. It was never between you and them anyway. So equanimity, this calm mind, is an essential practice for the world that we live in. Not only is it one of the paths less traveled to have a calm mind, equanimity helps us meet challenging people and challenging events and not get so overwhelmed that we lose our peace of mind in the overwhelm. I love what the Buddha taught. He taught that what we think about and what we dwell upon becomes the shape of our mind. I love that image, our thoughts shaping our mind. And the shape of our mind shapes our world of experience. So, if we dwell on fear and doubt and worry, then we get even better at fear, doubt, and worry. And it will shape our world of experience. But if we train our mind to make happiness, compassion, and equanimity what we practice, those qualities can become the shape of our mind. And then the world of our experience can be kindness, compassion, and equanimity. I think the good news here is that we are living right now in the perfect laboratory to practice equanimity, because equanimity is not developed in peaceful, calm, quiet times where there are no challenges and where there are no disturbances. And we have plenty of those in this laboratory that we're living in. It is not hard to have a calm mind when everything is going according to your plan. Equanimity is a practice for the times like ours that we're living in, full of unknowns and full of uncertainty. But we need to remember that our thinking shapes our mind, and the shape of our mind shapes our world of experiences. So I want to close with this quote that I found in Psychology Today magazine, and it is about the power of our mind to shape our experiences. So thank you, Kathy. It's also on the next slide too, so I just want you to know there's 2 slides. So it says, I possess tremendous power to make life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool that inspires or an instrument of inspiration. I can be a tool that injures or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or raise up. I can hurt or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis is escalated or de-escalated, whether a person is humanized or dehumanized. So I'm going to ask you to say this together as our closing affirmation. I know it's not one that we would typically fit on a little card because it's 2 slides. So Kathy, if you wouldn't mind going back to that one before, and let's say this and the next slide together as our closing, and then we will have our spiritual practice. So let's say this together. I possess tremendous power to make life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool that injures or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or raise up. I can hurt or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis is escalated or de-escalated, whether a person is humanized or dehumanized. So there it is. So let's have our spiritual practice and do what we do when we begin. Let's close our eyes. Feel the breath going in and out of our body. And let's do what we did last week in our practice. Let's just go a little bit deeper in sensing and feeling and experiencing this gap of silence that our body is teaching us and showing us that we can carry into our everyday life. So I just invite you to pay attention to your breath as you breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. And as you continue that breathing, just notice between the in and the out breath, there is a gap. There is a pause. There is a sliver of silence. So now let's find our pulse, whether it's the heartbeat in your chest, whether you find it in your wrist, or finding it in your neck. Feel how your heartbeat has a pause. It's not very long, just enough to let you know that our body is showing us how to live in the gap, how to live in that sliver of silence as we feel our pulse. And so let's practice just being still, letting our body be our teacher, that we are designed in an incredible way by our Creator to teach us so many things about how to live our life, how to slow down, how to not just react, how to be the observer, and to live in that gap of quiet in that sliver of silence. So let's be in a place of gratitude for the power of our minds to shape our experience. That our minds take on the shape of the things we dwell on. And the shape of our mind shape our world of experiences. And so we're grateful for what tremendous creative power lies within each and every one of us. To choose what we think, to let our minds be shaped by our thoughts, and to watch our world of experiences be shaped by the shape of our mind. And so it is.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, sing your song in me, sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Now, oh, wonderful Spirit.
It is that time in the service when I would like to remind all of you that if you are in need of some prayer support, there are many ways to reach out to our prayer practitioners to receive that. You can go to the website and you can look on there at cslkc.org/prayer. Fill out an online prayer request card. The prayer practitioners will take those cards and pray for you for an entire week. It makes a difference. There's also a 24-hour prayer line. The prayer changes every single day. They are amazing. Take advantage of those as well. There are also prayer Zoom rooms after our service. You can go to the homepage of our website or in the Friday newsletter that comes out, announcements that come out. The link is there. Log into the link and sign up for one of those times. It is so important to each of us to come here, to have this place that we share music, we share camaraderie, we share the love of what we feel for one another and for our world. And without the giving part of our service, that would not be possible. So we say to you, if you can, do what you can and help us out with that. You can help by going to one of the apps that are available to you. They're listed on the screen. You can call the church office and have it set up so it's automatically taken out of your financial institution. However and whatever you give of your time, talent, or treasure, it is greatly appreciated and much needed. To all of you, I say, with love, namaste.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I'm sorry, I walked right in front of you. So I just have one announcement, and it is about our reopening on May the 2nd. Announced it last week, and I guess an email has already gone out where a lot of you saw it. So just want to clarify a couple of things. That it is a limited reopening, if we can use that word. Limited in that we're not going to have everything back the way it was a year ago. So what we have to do to stay in compliance with KCMO guidelines for indoor meetings is everybody still has to wear a mask. We have the room configured. Barry has done tons of work to reconfigure the room so that it is COVID safe. So we think we are going to be able to get 50 people in safely, and we are going to have a reservation system, sign-up system, and that'll be coming out not this coming week, but the following week. So it'll be available for you to start signing up the Monday, probably before May the 2nd. So there'll be, that system will have instructions on how to do the sign-up. And so just wanted to let you know that there's going to be some things that, all of us are a little bit disappointed, all the staff and everybody here is a little bit disappointed that we can't just open the doors and be what it was a year or so ago. But we committed to following the city guidelines, and so this is what we're going to have to do. We will also take, at the door, there'll be temperatures taken, and there's hand sanitation stations. To use those. So, the first couple of weeks are probably going to be kind of clunky, and we'll just figure it out. And we're just asking everybody to be patient with us as a staff and to be patient with each other because we're all doing something we've never done before. And there was way more thinking that had to go into it than I ever imagined. So I'm grateful for the 5 or 6 people that were part of all the Zooms to do this together. So we are committed to sending out lots of information. By now, on Sunday, you should have gotten, if you're on the e-blast list, you should have gotten another e-blast with more information. And then at the first of the week, we will be sending out more information just to keep you updated and to remind you of how we're going to be doing this. So thanks in advance for all of that. We are